Namaskaram, this is Dr. Rohit Tapadia here, and today we are going to talk about that one habit which we should follow at the same time every day for our own development. Now the question comes, why that habit and why at that time? Friends, if we observe the lifestyle and the daily schedule of any great personality on this planet, may it be from any branch, any field and any walk of life, we will definitely come across one thing that is in common to all of them is some discipline to their daily schedule. And this is the most important thing to utilize and invert one's time into the things we want to do. People often say that I don't have time, I am busy doing things, but if we retrospectively think on it, we will realize and come to a conclusion that we often spend our time and thinking in things which are not relevant. And we will realize that this leads to just brain and time drain, nothing else. A simple example which I had come across some couple of years back is we take a diary, note down all the things that we are supposed to do the next day, one night previous. And on the second day, at the end of the day, we write down what all we did today in a different diary. If we do this for a week or so, we will realize that what we have prioritized and what we do all across the day, there's a huge difference in the same. And that is why this kind of mismanagement of time leads to time and brain drain. This is a kind of happening in our day-to-day life which we go through without our acknowledgement. After a lot of self-analysis or self-observation, one comes to a conclusion that why are people able to excel in their lives in general, whom we label as the successful guys, and in general who are not like you and me. And we will come to a conclusion that it is the time management of these people. It is always said that we find time for the things we want to do. And it's very true that we do find time for the things we want to do. Now, if we have an aim or an agenda or some goal that we want to accomplish, there are a few steps what we can see. One is having a vision, an aim, a goal, an agenda to be accomplished. Second is continuously thinking about them. I have heard Dr. Bharat Ratna Dr. Kalam saying that continuously when you perceive, continuously you keep on thinking, continuously you try to imagine the outcome of what you aim, all the forces of this universe will thereby work for those imaginations and discoveries to come into reality. And this is what I have experienced personally, that there are many people who aim very big things. There are people with great visions, but unfortunately they do not put them into reality by the means of their effort, perseverance, consistency and some madness for that passion to bring into reality. And that is why I came across a joke in an article and a speech as well, which was later put into an article format, which stated a question. The question was, which is the most costly land on this planet? Which is the costliest land on this planet? People from the audience answered, it is the land at Marine Drives, which is 1 lakh rupees, 2 lakh rupees, 3 lakh rupees square feet. Someone said, no, it is on the Worli area where the richest bungalow of this planet, Antilia, lies, which is 13,000 crores. Someone said, oh no, it's the Rashtrapati Bhavan of India in New Delhi, where the cost of only the land of Rashtrapati Bhavan, which is about 300 to 350 acres, is about 26,000 crores. Someone said, no, it's the White House lane which costs the most. But All of these answers were denied, and to one's surprise, it was answered as the cremation center. Over pondering, people did not realize the answer, and the questionnaire explained them why it was the cremation center. The questionnaire explained that people have great visions. People have enormous ideas. They are a bundle of imagination, and they can bring down skies on this planet. I mean, skies on the ground, which is nothing but the horizon. But the thing is, they do not have that consistency, that passion to work, and they fail to convert these dreams into realities, and they die with these great thoughts, and they die becoming ashes or becoming, getting degraded in the soil in that cremation center. And that cremation center becomes the land of these big thoughts, and that is why it is the most costly, it is the costliest place on this planet, is what the abstract sense meant. Now you would think, why that land of cremation center? Why? Because everything starts with a thought. So the first step of time management in terms of success is thinking big, which many of us do. But the next step which we discussed is not bringing them into reality. Why? One of the major factors is the management of time, prioritizing things and going ahead. And this is the discussion today, which we are going to keenly observe why that one habit at that time. If you observe many individuals who have exceeded the ladder of excellence ever, you would observe this thing in common, that they are very meticulous managers of their time. For an instance, if you say a board meeting of a company has to start sharp at 10 a.m., the director of the directors, which you can otherwise call as the chairman, will be there 1 or 2 minutes prior to the meeting starting at 10 a.m. I remember an example of PGI Chandigarh, which is a very renowned college, a medical postgraduate college across in India. And if there's a class which is supposed to happen at 8 a.m., the professor would be there 5 minutes before the class starts. The director would be there 2 minutes before the class starts. So the students are expected to be 10 minutes before and settle themselves. This is how discipline starts. Why PGI is great, why everyone wants to be there, because they live this way of living in which one of the most important characteristic features is punctuality. My mother always says that if you value time, time will value you. And I have witnessed this one-to-one as well as through phone calls and different incidences, that one who values time, time values them. To the enormous number of guests that we have hosted so far, to the enormous number of clinicians who are big boss in their field, whom we have been communicating over emails or phone calls, if they have given you a time of 5 p.m., they will be there 1 minute less to 5 p.m. And this shows the punctuality. Now, how this time management in the means of minute-to-minute time management come into daily life? The basic and foremost step is one habit to be done every day at that particular time. See, if you want to cross a big bridge, the first thing is you take a first step. They often say that failure is the stepping stone towards success. We are living a life which is timeless. Timeless in what sense? Time is passing, but we are not aware of it. This is true enough. When we cannot manage our own syllabus to get completed within time before the exams, forget about the rest of the projects and things that are happening in this surrounding. And so it's time to ponder over this point, where am I losing it? See, it's same when it comes to money and when it comes to time. If we are earning money, good. But if that same money is getting spent somewhere else, and if we are not able to catch hold of that trap, then earning money, those efforts would definitely be in vain. In case of time, we have tremendous amount of time. It is the same 24 hours that you and me have, which the Prime Minister of different countries have, which the business entrepreneurs of different countries have, which all the successful people on this planet do have. So where is the difference? Management of the same. And I personally feel that it always begins with the thought, and it always begins with a small step. We cannot run a sprint race and excel in it if we prepare overnight. Nothing in the sun is accidental. Nothing under the sun is accidental, is what I remember I studied in my school days. And so that one step. So if we want to manage time in a minute-to-minute fashion in our daily basis, the first step is disciplining our own selves at every moment by the means of starting at that moment. And how do we do that moment? How do we do that moment? So affix one time to do one particular activity every day in a cycle of 24 hours, irrespective of whether you are sleeping in the day or sleeping in the night, whether it's a working day or whether it's a holiday, whether you are in your hometown or whether you are traveling across somewhere else, whether you are in a busy mood or whether you are in a relaxed mood, whether you are chilling out or whether you are tensed, whether you are happy, whether you are sorrowful, irrespective of any conditions in your lifetime happening around in your scenario or in your vicinity, if we learn to do a particular activity at a particular time in the 24-hour cycle of our daily schedule for a significant amount of time, which you can measure not less than a few months in a year, I feel it would be a successful step towards making yourself disciplined and utilizing your time of life in a meticulous way, and learning the art of utilizing time in a minute-to-minute fashion. Just once, one thought. It could be as simple as eating your meals at a particular time. Yesterday, some of my friends had been meeting me, and one of them asked me, what will be the benefit of doing that activity at that particular time? Some gross benefits which I personally feel and have experienced as a sign of growth in myself is, when you label a particular time for a particular activity, your schedule automatically becomes things to be done before that activity and things to be done after that activity, which automatically imbibes a feeling of time discipline within you. And then everything has to rotate and revolve around that timeline. Suppose I fix my time of dinner at 7 p.m. and some of my friends booked my tickets for a movie show from 6 to 9. Very politely, if I believe in self-development and if I have the vision of envisioning the betterment of society by the means of self, with this first step of time management of one thing at that particular time in the day, I feel that a polite denial or a polite shift stating that this is something which I need to do at my daily schedule. This is my niyama, or this is my boundedness, or this is my that which is must to be done. And I think things can change. They start revolving around your time. They start revolving around you. You don't keep on being behind them. And this is the stepping stone towards it. And one may think, ये क्या nonsense लगा के रखा है, 7 बजे की जगह 6 बजे खाना खा लेंगे, नहीं तो आराम से पिक्चर होने के बाद 9 बजे हम लोग बाहर खाने के लिए जाएंगे, वहां पे खाएंगे. What's the problem? The problem is you have chosen the habit of doing dinner at that particular time. You can choose anything else. The concept of choosing a habit is not what you choose. Significant is you follow the time. I am giving an example that a trivial job as that, or a routine job as that, of having a meal within time at a given point of the day can change your habit, can change your way and approach towards life and managing things. A few examples which I would like to quote again of great people who have been managing time like anything. My dear friends, it's individual choice, no doubt. Some people say, "Mujhko zyada bada banna hi nahi. I want to be very normal." But when that normal or that standard is becoming substandardized in the name of fashion and trend, we lose our significance as a human in the society. The problem there lies is people start not entertaining us, because we are not valued with the amount of money we have. We are not valued with the amount of degrees, number of degrees we have. We are valued with the presence of thoughts and ideas that we have when we are amidst people. Man, being a social animal, is being judged and does judge people every moment. And it's the test of time which one has to pass every moment. If someone shows you a magic trick for 100 times, and if he fails to do that for the 101st time, you would stop believing. The same lies when it comes to public relations. And utilizing time, being polite and rest all other things come all through your way. But when you don't value your own time, no one else will. I would quote the example, say for an instance, Steve Jobs wore the same t-shirt and the same jeans, the color, all his life. You take the founder of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, wears the same t-shirt not because he's colorblind. It's because they believe that they don't want to put in time to choose what they want to wear. Because they value time, and so time values them and makes them one of the richest people on this planet. Not just in terms of money, but in many other terms. If you see Mukesh Ambani, he just wears white color shirt anywhere and anytime. You see in any videos, any photographs. This is what you observe in the life of great people. If you see late Bharat Ratna Dr. Abdul Kalam, he just had 2 suits, 2 suitcases and 2 suits that he used to wear. So the thing is, these people do not waste time in so many other things. So prioritizing things, denying the least important and choosing the right ones is a step far ahead. But the basic and the primitive step is disciplining oneself in terms of doing things at a particular time. It could be, suppose you go to work sharp at 9, come back at 6. I remember an example of Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, who had been the richest person on this planet some time back, when he was celebrating his 50th anniversary with his wife, of course, he would be celebrating with his wife. So he celebrated all across the world in whichever country his company, he owns a company. And this program went on for a year long. In one of the countries, in one of the programs, one of the employees asked him, "Sir, what is the secret? What is the secret of this 50 years of happy married life?" And before Warren Buffett could answer something, his wife stole and pulled the mic, not stole, pulled the mic to her and was about to answer. And during this course, not a single expression on the face of Warren Buffett changed. This itself reflected that such a kind of tolerance was the reason that they had 50 years of happy married life. But I am not here to state this statement. A more significant answer which his wife answered, that my husband, Mr. Warren Buffett, he did 3 things in our life. Irrespective of any meeting except for the travels, he used to be at home at 6 p.m. sharp. Then second thing she said, we always went for a half an hour walk every day in the last 50 years except for we are traveling. It means quality time. See, what is the thing? 6 o'clock he will come back from office. This is the thing that he does in time every day. Every day if they are going to walk for half an hour at 7 p.m, they are in time. Third thing she said, that we always have a family dinner sharp at 8 p.m. every day. It means everyone in the family is bound to be at 8 p.m. there to be in their dinner table. This suggests that how great people have been transferring these values of life in the upcoming generation, which you and me are lacking today in our family system, unfortunately, in the course of earning money. I think we will not be more busy than Warren Buffett. And I don't think so that after working so hard, we are earning more money than Warren Buffett. So if he can do it, why not we is the question. And the fourth thing that she said, that every day we have spent 1 hour of quality time with our children, teaching them, talking to them, and now that we complete 50 years and we are grandparents, we share that 1 hour of quality time with our grandchildren. This makes them rich. I remember a statement by Dan Pena, as a $1 trillion man. He said that people recognize me today because I am a $1 trillion man, but they are fools. Why? Because I have the same habits last 50 years, which people have noticed only when I am a $1 trillion man today. The same habits, the habits that I have today, the same habits I have since last 50 years. And so, habits make an individual. The most important habit is doing things in a time. Doing things in a particular time zone. Doing things in time is the clue, is the greatest approach and the simplest approach with which we can start that one habit at that one time. Like Dr. Kalam used to sleep at 2 a.m., he used to get up at 7 a.m. If you see the life of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi used to go for his prayer at the fixed time. He used to have that English watch. This is how great people have taught us. The only difference is we die with these great thoughts. They lived them. अरे ऐसा जिए कि मरने के बाद भी लोग याद रखे, या ऐसा जिए कि जीते जी भी लोग हमको याद न रखे. So I feel after a lot of observation and analysis, I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but what I feel personally, because I started applying in my life and I've seen tremendous, wonderful results, and that enhances the time of the day, it appears to be. It seems कि मेरा दिन कितना बड़ा है. When we start sorting things, when we start doing them at a particular time, we sort many problems in life and we start managing life in a way it expects from us. Making it more and more productive is what I feel. And so this is an appeal that as a young dynamic nation with huge bundle of powers of imaginations, I feel that a proper direction to the same will lead us to count leaps and bounds of success. क्योंकि दिशा अगर ठीक नहीं है तो दशा होना निश्चित है. So it's up to us that whether we want to transform ourselves or not. And if we want to transform ourselves, the basic step is what I feel is doing that habit at that particular time. There are many such examples that can be quoted, but with the scarcity of time, I feel this is sufficient. So I hope you'll make a resolution of practicing time management with this basic step, that one habit which will form a chain of habits across the day, and the day will not be far when you will plan your schedule of previous day like a big minister or a big entrepreneur who values time in a way that it leads to his success or her success. So thank you one and all for patient listening, and I'm hopeful that we will definitely start with this baby step and see the progress of our nation by the terms of our habits and efforts with meticulous usage and utility of time. Thank you. Namaskaram.